Hi guys, how's it going? So in this one I got a vintage kit from Airfix, the Dornier Do 17E/F, whichever one you prefer to build when it comes to it. It's in 1/72 scale and it's series 4. And that is about as much as I know on this kit. I did go to look at the tooling for you guys to add that in, but there was nothing on it. The best I got was, it was 1971 Reeboks, question mark, question mark, question mark, with scale mates. I then proceeded to go on other sites to find out if anybody knew, like forums, if anybody knew when this kit was tooled. Nothing, not a thing. So my hope is with this video, some of you guys are absolute veterans. You've been in the hobby for 20, 30 years, if not more, and your memories are amazing. So the hope is that somebody sees this video and they're going to know when this kit was tooled or where it was from, and you know, what have you, all that stuff. So if you do know, leave a comment down below and I'll pin it so everybody else can read up, and then everybody can know, including myself, know when this kit was tooled originally. Now with the box itself, it is sealed. It's got a bit of dust and dirt underneath it. That don't really matter because we're going to rip that off and dig inside the box to have a good look. With the front of the box, you know this, I love the actual model, the real model on the box, because I like to build it and copy it. I'm sure there's people out there who do that too. So that's a bonus for me. It looks like from the model itself on the front that it was hand painted, wasn't airbrushed. You see? Just there. It's a lovely model though. And on the side, we've got this scheme. I think it does come with 2 schemes, this one. On the other bit here, we've got the language of the instructions, suitable for 8 and up, and the paints that came in, or the paints you'll need. We don't have Airfix anymore, but we still do have Humbro. So there you go. And then we've got the copyright of 1986. So there's probably a big hint there of when this kit was done. But then if it's a reboxing, it's still not going to answer when the tooling was done or where they got it from. So anyway, let's crack on. Now I know some of you guys like to experience the cellophane being pulled off. I don't blame you, it is very satisfying. But I want you guys to experience the first look with me. I want to experience it exactly the moment you guys do. And here we are. It's lovely. Open it up. There is a little ding there, but nothing too surprising. Oh my God, this is a really clean kit. It's actually not plastic, like the colour plastic I expected. Looks more like a Revell colour of the day. Very like a pale grey plastic moulding. And it appears that everything is in one piece, nothing's fallen off. No copyright. And then we've got this one. Move that along, so we're going to come back to this and have a proper look. And then we have the wings that are clipped off separately. 71. There we are. Copyright 1971. Oh. So Scanmates was right. And there's the old Airfix logo. Right, let's move that aside. Our instructions, some decals, and the clears. Technically we have seen this side, but I just want to show you guys the connecting points. We've got 3 in total. They're quite prominent actually, except from this one in this far corner. It's near enough non-existent, but not too bad. We'll turn it over. We have recessed panel lines, and we have some awesome rivets. Look at them. Sound test to show you how prominent they are. And this is all over the aircraft, it seems. So just a nice emphasis on the detail of this kit. Just run this along so you guys can have a look. It's really clean. There's no flash on it at all. You've got a little bit on the edges, but they get sanded when you sand the seams off, when you put the bottom part and the top part together. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic. Right, let's move on. And that is your bottom part. Next, we have the top part of the wings. And again, we'll start with the connecting points just to show you. They'll link up to these guys. And look, recessed panel lines. And we have some more rivets just going across here. I've got to stop doing that, it's quite addictive. Look, really clean. This looks like it's going to be an easy build. It looks like they're going to connect up like really well. It doesn't seem like there's going to be any fitting issues at all, just by looking at these two. I always think when a tooling looks clean, I feel like, I don't know whether it's just the way it looks by the eye, you feel like it's going to connect up really well when it's a clean tooling. Right, let's move along. Next, we have one half of the fuselage. I'm going to start off there. And we do have a little bit of detail in the cockpit area, just there. I'm going to bring that up. See if you can see anything. It's not the clearest, but it's not too bad. It's nice that they added something in there. We have no logo in there or anything like that, but it doesn't matter really. We do have, however, some pilots at the back end of them, literally. The detail does look good. I'll turn them over in a minute. Connecting points for the wheels, no solid fix. They are really clean. There's no flash on this at all. And then again, we have the rivets going along there. And it looks like a nice bit of detail there. They are numbered, which is thankfully something we've got. Unfortunately though, the sprue frames as a whole are not alphabetical or numbered at all, but we do have at least the parts numbered. And then we've got this bit here, just there. I guess that will click onto that. You can see that already. And yeah. Right, let's turn over for the detail of the pilots. They don't look smudged, they're really clear. They're really nice. They don't look like a blurry mess or anything at all. Except I don't know what these little holes are in between. Is that the injecting points where they put the plastic into the mold? I don't know why those holes are there. But apart from that, they are solid looking. Try and bring that up closer. I really am a fan of doing pilots now, especially with the vintage kits. At first, when I did them with the vintage kits originally, I did it because there was no detail in the cockpit, and I thought, well, it puts something in there. But over time, you'll see the next video that's coming up, I've grown into doing pilots. I love doing them now. I get excited when I see them. So when I come to do this kit, I'm actually looking forward to doing these three guys. We do have some guns. They're not the most detailed, but they're still quite nice. We've got our landing gears. See, look, there's no flash. I mean, they do need a little bit of sand on the edge there, but I mean, I consider this really clean. And then we've got our wheels here. I mean, they're clean. They're really, really clean. I mean, look at that. I mean, usually you'd see some sort of, you know, flash in between in the holes there, or these would look smudged, but they don't. They look really good. And then there's the connecting points for these. We'll run along the other side, well, the outside of the aircraft. Again, you see all those lovely rivets. Run that along. This is a nice, nice kit. Well done, Airfix of the past. Now we're going to move along to the other side, which is the final part, or the final sprue frame. And we have this bit. Now this looks like we've got more detail for the cockpit and stuff like that. Where is it? Yeah, you see, we have an instrument panel. And then we have our options here. So we've got them, the landing gears up. Or this one, when it's like, you know, the landing gears down and on the ground. Look, really, really good. This is a really high class bit of tooling, especially for its time. Then over here you go, guys, look at that. We've got two propellers. The spinners are not separate, they're together. Doesn't really bother me, except like when it comes to painting, if it was any really complicated or anything near complicated pattern when it comes to propeller spinners, that's the only thing that irritates me. But if it's just black with yellow tips, then this is nothing. Not going to make it any more difficult, should I say. we've got our thing here. Look at that. Let me just bring that, there we go. Then we run across the other side. I'll just bring that up and show you. This is nice. Nice. This is really, yeah, fantastic. And then let's have a quick look at the connecting points first. A little bit, you see that little thing in the cockpit? Just there. Not really much at all, but it's better than nothing. Very deep like connecting points. And there we go. And that is the sprues. A little warning, if you're eating, pause the video until you're finished, because this part will put you off your dinner or your lunch. Right, you've been warned. Look at that. I haven't seen a grimier clear with all the vintage kits we've looked at, or any kit that has that much grime in one area. I mean, that is filth. But I don't know what it is. Could it be congealed oil that's kind of like met up in one place? I don't know. But that is very dirty. But apart from that, the rest look good. I say look good. They do have some scuffs and scratches going on, but I'll still use them, you know I will. We've got some options here. You can either have this one with the gum prodded out, or one without. Oh my God, that is so bad. The rest look good. We've got the one for the nose, the sides, and where does this one belong? I'm not actually sure where this one goes. We'll find out when we move along to the instructions. So anyway, I'm going to get the Mocha set and I'll do my usual thing, see how good they are. We already know they're not going to be too good, but it is what it is. So look at the set. Fine, they're fine. There is some, they look like bubbles, like air bubbles in the plastic. But I'm not sure if they are. I think they're just chip marks where they've just been rattled around in the box. Let's move over to this one, which is number 29. I can't quite make out that number there. Over to this one. Can we see anything? No, not really. That's distorted as well because it's got that curve. And then the nose. Oh, definitely not. Over here. Can just make out the micro. The little windows, why not? They're not going to be clear anyway, even if they're good clear parts, because of how small the area is. But that's them. Just got to clean that bit up when it comes to the build. We've got this nice little paint chart that comes with it. We've got Humbro and Airfix paints. Unfortunately for us, Airfix paints no longer exist, but the Humbro ones are still quite relevant. If you're wondering what I do with stuff like this once I've completed the model, I actually keep them. I'll put them in the box, and then the box will sit behind that completed model and be in a glass cabinet with lights and all that, and keep it all, you know, on display and looking good. Because to me, this is part of modeling history and Airfix history especially. I haven't got the heart to chuck them, basically. We're going to move over to the main part, which is the instructions. And I'm going to show you guys the history of the aircraft. So I'm going to bring that up closer, because I know that some of you guys like to read up, and I want you guys to take your time. So hit that pause button. And there you go. Let me just get it all in. Perfect. Right, let's move over to the construction. Now we do start off with step one. And who are we with? We're with the gunner. I don't know why they've got a step one separate just for the gunner. And then we move over to step two for an explosive diorama. I don't know why they don't just have it all as one. Because it's calm. And then bang, good luck. We've got the instrument panel, the pilot, the navigator. Make sure though, we put the clear parts in before we seal that fuselage. And then right tucked in the corner down here, just make sure where you put that instrument panel, part 15. Let's move over to step 3, and this time we've got a decision to make. Do we do 17F or 17E? I'm going to do 17F, front of the box. If you're going to do 17E, you've got that clear part 26 with the gun pointing out. With clear part 22 and clear part 24, you've got to be careful, because obviously we've got to glue those together and the risk of fogging is quite high with that. Let's move over to step 4. We're going back up and we've got the rear going in. I actually quite like this bit. It looks like a solid waiting point. You can't really go wrong with that, where it just slots in place. I like that. Let's move over to step 5 and you're going to see it's getting crazy. Look at that. There's a lot going on with the landing gears, and there's engine, spinner and propeller going on. We've got the black bit, which is, let's go to the front quickly. Do not cement. Let's go back to step 5. Look at that. There's a lot going on, but I do like this visually, to be honest. Step 6. Again, it explodes again into this diorama, but look how crazy this is at the bottom. Spaghetti junction going on. Whew. You have to really get your finger and just follow it through and make sure you don't get lost. I love this stuff. It's just vintage goodness. Step 7, we're just finishing up at the back. And there we go. Let's go back to the rear, where we have our painting schemes for the 2 versions. And there's your paints. Let me just fit this in and then again pause so you can have a look at your own time. So I ain't gonna rush you. We got it in? Yes, we have. Look at that. And to wrap this unboxing up, we've got the decals. We've got our 2 schemes and an instrument panel. Personally though, I'm not going to use that. I think with the panel, you're better off just painting it black like you would do normally and then dry brushing it silver. Because if I'm honest, to me, that just looks like a bunch of black dots. But the rest are good, except there is some yellowing going on. I'm going to use the sun to bleach that and bring that white back out and get rid of all that nasty yellow. But what else am I worried about is the fragmentation. But what I will do is test this bit in water, and if that falls into a billion pieces, then I'll give it a clear coat of lacquer, let that dry and harden, and then we're good to use them from there. But that's about it. There's not really much on them. Right, I'm going to hold them into place so you guys can have a look. And there you go. And that is the unboxing of this kit. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.